Live, local, late breaking. This is WMBF News at 7.
Well, right now on WMBF News at 7, keeping the memories of two murdered bank employees alive, how officials are honoring their accomplishments while also giving back to the community. Plus, the city of Conway getting ready for a busy Saturday as ESPN's College Game Day comes to the Grand Strand. What downtown officials hope the buzz will bring to that area. We'll have all that and more coming up. First, I want to get you caught up on your certified, most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold. And Jamie, another cold night ahead.
Yes, indeed. Temperatures already falling quickly now down into the low 40s. We're seeing a lot less wind overnight tonight. And as those winds go calm, that's going to allow some heavy frost to develop as we head towards daybreak tomorrow morning. Not only frost, but a freeze out there once again tonight. Temperatures down to 31 overnight tonight for Myrtle Beach, 30 in North Myrtle. West of the waterway, we're into the 20s with 28 in Conway, Marion, and Florence, 27 for Hartsville and Bennettsville, 26 across the border there in Laurinburg as well as Lumberton. I mentioned those temperatures falling quickly. We saw that little bit of a rebound earlier this afternoon, making it into the low 50s. But look at that, already down to 41. And still falling fast. We will start to see a rebound, though. In fact, near 70 by Friday, but also bringing in some shower chances to finish up the work week. I'll have a closer look at that coming up in my full forecast.
For the first time, our news team spoke with a woman who lost her mother in that deadly Crestcom bank robbery more than 3 years ago. This comes as the community looks to honor the two victims. WMBF News reporter Jennifer Roberts joins us outside of that bank with more on how their memory is being kept alive. Tell us more, Jennifer.
Eric, it's hard to believe that senseless crime happened here 3 years ago. The family member told me she's found peace in knowing that her mother's legacy will live on in the community she loved. Pictured on your screen are Katie Skeen and Donna Major. They were killed inside of the Crestcom Bank in the August of 2017 during a bank robbery. Since then, the South Carolina Bankers Association established a scholarship in their names. The daughter of Donna Major told me she's found solace in seeing people honor her mother. She's encouraging anyone who receives the scholarship in the future to make an impact in the community, just like her mother did.
Just live like her. Be sacrificial, be generous. Be happy, live life to the fullest. My mom was the most generous, sacrificial woman, mom, friend, grandma, wife. She was always had a smile on her face, willing to give and help anyone.
The CEO of the South Carolina Bankers Association says creating the scholarship in those victims' names is something that they wanted to do to ensure that their memories would never and their names would never be forgotten. You can hear from him tonight at 11. Live in Conway, I'm Jennifer Roberts, WMBF News.
Online records show the man charged in a shooting in May is now out of jail. This man, 19-year-old Sequion Johnson, was released on a $75,000 bond November 25th. He's charged with 4 counts of attempted murder, obstructing justice, possession of a weapon, and unlawfully carrying a pistol. Johnson is just one of 6 people charged in that May 24th shooting on 12th Avenue North and North Ocean Boulevard. Police say 4 people were injured during the incident. 2 were innocent bystanders. Former Florence County Sheriff Kenny Boone pleading guilty to a 3rd-degree domestic violence charge today. A judge sentenced him to 30 days in jail or a $1,000 fine, suspended upon the completion of a 26-week domestic violence counseling program. The charge stems from an incident earlier this year where he allegedly came home intoxicated, got into a fight with his wife over money. Reports claim he threw items in the home, swung a baseball bat at several other items. Boone was removed from office in January after pleading guilty to charges of misconduct in office and embezzlement. Horry County recorded the 2nd highest number of new coronavirus cases today with 126. That's second only to Greenville County that had more than 280. Meanwhile, Florence County saw an additional 48 cases. DHEC has reported more than 1,600 new positive cases. Right now, 911 people are battling the virus in South Carolina hospitals. Officials in North Myrtle Beach City unanimously voting to extend the city's state of emergency order today. It'll run for another 60 days unless leaders rescind it earlier or it's extended again. Since mid-October, the state of emergency also includes the emergency ordinance requiring face masks in certain businesses like retail stores and restaurants. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shortened the recommendation quarantine period for those exposed to COVID-19. The agency continues to recommend people quarantine for 2 weeks after exposure, but there are two acceptable alternatives. The CDC says someone can end quarantine after 10 days without a test and no symptoms. The second option is that quarantine can stop after 7 days with a test. Again, though, no symptoms. Here are some important vaccine dates you want to keep in mind. The Food and Drug Administration will review Pfizer's vaccine for emergency use authorization December 10th. If approved, Pfizer's vaccine would then be delivered December 15th. December 17th, the FDA will meet to review Moderna's vaccine for emergency use. If approved, it would be delivered December 22nd. 2020 has been a rough year for so many, and when you throw the pandemic into the mix, it can be hard searching for that silver lining in life. Even getting out of bed can be a task these days. WMBF News reporter Kate Merriman joins us now with some of the warning signs of COVID fatigue and how you can help yourself.
Warning signs of being burnt out from COVID can be similar to depression, ranging from sleep changes, both oversleeping and insomnia, to not liking the things you used to love to do. Right now, many of you are still working from home. Since March, you've probably become more comfortable in your daily at-home routines, maybe wearing sweats every day because, hey, let's face it, other people won't see it, but you feel it. Licensed professional counselor Sandy Quast explains why it's important to keep a routine and keep up maintaining yourself.
Part of it is self-esteem. It makes you feel better. Even if you're working from home, if you take a shower and you get dressed up decent, it doesn't have to be a full-fledged suit, but you get dressed up decent, it makes you feel different. Another thing is people, if you're working like we are right now through Zoom, you could be standing up rather than sitting down. So if you stand up, it has a whole different feel to you, and you feel like you're actually, out and about more so. So as sitting down feels a lot more complacent.
Quast also weighed in on how switching up your mindset can also help you. And if you want more information on that, head over to this story on WMBFnews.com. From my home office, Kate Merriman, WMBF News.
If you're having a hard time finding a Christmas tree this year, you aren't alone. Zach Wilcox explains the ripple effect the 2008 recession is having on the holiday tradition.
Now, the certified most accurate forecast from First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold.
All right, temperatures for some of us already dropping below that 40-degree mark and eventually heading down below the freezing mark. Overnight tonight here from Myrtle Beach and the Grand Strand down to 31, and with winds going virtually calm overnight tonight with some moisture left in the ground from that rain earlier in the week. A very heavy frost on the way for a lot of us as we start off the day on Thursday, but we do see a quick warm up in those temperatures tomorrow, much milder with plenty of sunshine. We climb into the upper 50s to around 60, not as breezy as the past couple of days, and just a couple of clouds starting to thicken up, especially late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. And those clouds, the first signs of our next weather maker that arrives especially late in the day on Friday. It's another pretty powerful cold front that moves in. Out ahead of that front, we see southerly winds. They help to boost temperatures into the 60s to near 70 on Friday afternoon, but we also see the increasing chances of rain. And then behind that front, our next drop in temperatures set to arrive just in time for the weekend. So let's kind of time it all out for you here. During the day Friday, skies do become mostly cloudy, and by the afternoon, a couple of light showers move in. Rain chances during the daytime hours on Friday, though, only at 40%. Much better chances come as we head towards Friday night. Often on showers, a couple of downpours, and another bout of gusty winds looking likely, perhaps 30 to 40 miles per hour at times on Friday night. But feeling much more confident today that everything gets out of here in a hurry as we kick off the weekend. Saturday going to feature maybe a sprinkle or shower right around sunrise, otherwise clearing skies. But as that next push of colder air moves in, temperatures hold steady or perhaps even slowly fall as we head through the day. So get ready for the changeable forecast as we kick off the weekend. Certainly cold tomorrow morning. Again, upper 20s to near 30 for those morning temperatures, climbing our way to the upper 50s to near 60 as we head towards tomorrow afternoon. And then your Myrtle Beach 7-day forecast showing the 60s to near 70 on Friday with those 40% chances of late day showers. We're back down to the 50s for Saturday. The big game at Coastal should be just fine, albeit cool, a little bit breezy and blustery. And then notice we'll keep things a little bit cool heading into early next week. Daytime temperature steady in the 50s, nighttime temperatures into the 30s and 40s. Florence into the PD back to 28 tonight, up to 58 though for tomorrow, 68 by Friday. late day showers that turn into more widespread showers Friday night, but they quickly clear out by Saturday into Saturday afternoon.
The coronavirus pandemic has changed a lot of things in 2020, but one thing it hasn't changed is the community's need for Christmas trees. WMBF News reporter Zach Wilcox found out business is actually booming at some Grand Strand tree lots.
The team at Booth's Christmas Tree Farm in Conway was a little concerned about the impact the coronavirus pandemic would have on Christmas tree sales this year, but one employee who's been working here for nearly 2 decades says this year it's been busier than ever so far.
My mama and my uncle's been working out here since they was teenagers. So once we got old enough, we used to come out here. They used to be out here every Christmas year. So we'll come out here, have fun. And then when we got old enough, they put us to work.
Talisha Bell has been helping out at Booth's Christmas Tree Farm since she was 4 years old. She's seen a lot of busy Thanksgiving weekends, but none as busy as this year.
Usually around December 1st, we have a good bit of trees, but right now we almost sold out. So even in the fields, so it's real crazy.
Owner Haley Booth says management considered ordering 10% less trees this year because of the pandemic, but with the way trees are selling, he's glad they went for the full order. Over at Landscapes by Mew, the trees have been selling at a normal rate, so demand hasn't been an issue, but supply, on the other hand,
I have not been able to get the numbers of trees that we normally are able to get.
Owner Paul Mew says the shortage on Fraser firs wasn't caused by the pandemic or even fires in North Carolina. His supplier told him it all has to do with the recession in 2008.
The Christmas tree growers weren't selling the number of trees that they were accustomed to selling, and because they weren't cutting trees, they weren't replanting trees. And the trees that they would have been planting 2008, 9, 10, 11 are the trees that would be harvested now.
Mew actually showed me the very next tree he sold as an example.
I just counted, but if you count the rings, there's 12. So this tree was planted in 2008.
Even though he doesn't have as many trees, Mew's still happy that people have been coming out to get trees despite the pandemic, because Christmas tree season is his favorite time all year.
For me and my family, Christmas trees is a special time of year for us. Every customer's happy, but what's different this time of year is there's a lot of children, and we enjoy that.
Mew says this batch of trees that he's selling right now, he ordered this time last year, and the next batch that he's getting soon is only about 50% of what he'd usually be getting. In Conway, Zach Wilcox, WMBF News.
Let's take you to the PD now. Francis Marion University announced it'll hold 5 in-person commencement ceremonies this month for the fall class of 2020. The first ceremony starts at 7 Friday evening and will be for the College of Liberal Arts, Biology, and Psychology. The other 4 ceremonies will be held Saturday, starting with the School of Business and School of Education at 9 in the morning. The College of Liberal Arts, which includes English, Mass Communications, Mathematics, Political Science, and more, follows after at noon. Undergraduates at the School of Health and Sciences will be at 3 o'clock that afternoon. Finally, graduate students with the School of Health and Science will walk the stage at 6. The chairman of the Greater Florence Chamber of Commerce is looking to do more to assist small businesses during the current economic crisis by developing a mentorship program. That program would match new owners with more seasoned owners, and this would allow them to build a relationship and address the challenges of operating a small business, like talent acquisition and stress management.
Executives who have said, let me raise my hand. I've been very fortunate. I'll be a mentor. Several of those, and probably two to one of people who are like, man, I could use that so much. I've got this idea, or I've been doing that. I would just love someone to talk with.
And along with the mentorship program, Reichenbach would also like to begin a financial training series to assist businesses with financial planning resources. All right, check this out. A Little River man with cerebral palsy is creating abstract art, selling it, and donating some of the money to a good cause. Patrick Lloyd tells us how Taylor Parrott hopes to make a difference.
What started as a hobby has now turned into a way for Taylor Parrott to help organizations that have helped him. 26-year-old Taylor Parrott lives in Little River with his parents, Chip and Jeannie. His dad, Chip, recently suggested he start drawing with Sharpie markers. He started creating abstract art pieces like this. Then Chip gave him the idea to sell the pieces so he could have a little extra spending money. Instead, Taylor told him he wanted to keep half of the money and donate the rest. The organizations he chose to donate to are the Miracle Leagues of Florence and the Grand Strand and Ainsley's Angels. Taylor has benefited from both. He's played baseball with other special needs kids as part of the Miracle Leagues, and he's been pushed in a wheelchair during races as part of Ainsley's Angels. His dad, Chip, says he wasn't surprised to hear his son wanted to donate the proceeds.
Of course, I was proud. Taylor's always had a great heart, always. Sometimes he'll spot somebody sitting on a bench or on a street corner or something, and he'll say, "Daddy, that man looks sad." And I go, "My goodness, I didn't even notice that," you know, and he notices stuff like that, you know, and he wants to help people.
Since word got out that Taylor started doing this, he's received 10 different requests from people looking to buy some of those drawings for $50, 25 of which would go toward those organizations mentioned earlier. Taylor's parents say he's got a lot on his plate with those requests, though, and they're hoping that they can just focus on making sure that his family members and close friends get those drawings before having anyone else buy them. Reporting in Little River, Patrick Lloyd, WMBF News.
And next in sports, you'll hear from Coach Chadwell and the Shots to get their reaction from the news of College Game Day making its way to the Grand Strand. Plus, Neil Watson shares how the city of Conway is preparing for Saturday's huge game. Good evening and welcome back for sports. Despite multiple reports that have said otherwise, CCU's game with rival Liberty is still on and is the featured matchup for ESPN's College Game Day. The announcement was made Monday, and it's the first time the show will originate from a Sunbelt school. We caught up with Jamie Chadwell and the Shots earlier today to get their reaction to the huge news for the program and community.
Anytime you get two good teams, you know, and there's some history behind us, this matchup, this rivalry, you know, you think there's a chance that game day might end up coming. So having them here, you know, once they announced it to us, you could kind of hear it in like a wave.
You always saw it Alabama, you know, Penn State, Clemson, Georgia, all those bigger schools. And, you know, for College Game Day to come here to Coastal this year, you know, after the year we're having in the, you know, the rivalry game that's taking place Saturday, you know, it means a lot to us, and I think it means a lot to, you know, group of 5 teams as well.
It doesn't happen often. Hardly ever at our level, and for us to be the first, you know, Sunbelt school to do that, that's another pretty cool deal in history for us, and as we're in our young history in FBS football.
Looking ahead to a couple of weeks from now, the Sunbelt Conference announcing today a kickoff time for the upcoming conference championship game. The game will kick off at noon Eastern Time at Brooks Stadium on December 19th, and it will be broadcasted live on either ESPN or ESPN2. It will be a rematch between CCU and UL Lafayette. The Shots defeated the Cajuns 30-27 earlier this season. It was Coastal's first win over a ranked opponent in program history. And meanwhile, the city of Conway is hoping the spotlight from College Game Day will bring a boost in local business this weekend. WMBF News reporter Neil Watson joins us from downtown Conway with more.
You can definitely see the Shots pride throughout downtown Conway. We're talking Teal Nation banners and flags lining the streets and businesses ahead of the big game. Executive Director of Conway Downtown Alive, Hillary Howard, says they amped up the team spirit this week with extra banners and teal bows to welcome College Game Day fans and visitors. Howard recalls years ago when CCU students held up College Game Day to Conway signs during games. She says to see it actually happen has the town buzzing with excitement. She hopes the big turnout will bring more people to downtown businesses. Howard says since football tickets are limited due to the pandemic, more people come downtown to watch the game.
Those restaurants are full because people have limited availability of those tickets. So we're expecting to see those numbers just skyrocket as we have just growing throughout the season because of the limited ticket availability and of course the impact of this game. I mean, this is a season to beat all seasons, and I think everyone's getting on the Chanticleer train.
And a fun fact, if you didn't know this already, every Tuesday is known as Teal Tuesday, where everyone wears the color teal to celebrate Coastal Carolina University. Reporting in Conway, Neil Watson, WMBF News.
And that's going to do it for sports. We'll talk more CCU tonight and begin previewing this weekend's state championship games. Eric, back to you.
Not so fast, Gabe. Here's another sport you might be interested in, disc golf. Today, the new Splinter City disc golf course right here in Myrtle Beach made its grand opening. It's located across from Warbird Park in the Market Common and is named after a series of wooden houses that used to be on the site as part of the U.S. Army Airfield. Now, it's free to play on the course, but you will need to bring your own disc. We should try it out, Jamie.
Yeah, but we're going to wait until tomorrow afternoon. until it warms up a bit. Certainly clear, cold, calm out there already this evening. Been mentioning those temperatures falling fast, down to 41 right now. 31, that was our low temperature early this morning. We're going to match that and perhaps even get a degree or two below it as we head towards daybreak tomorrow morning with a heavy frost to start the day. There's those low 30s at 7 a.m., but mid 50s as we head towards lunchtime. Afternoon temperatures tomorrow climbing to the upper 50s to right around 60. And then as we work our way towards the weekend, we've got one rainmaker that comes through here late Friday into Friday night. It gets out of here, though, early in the weekend. So Saturday, maybe a stray shower if you're up right around sunrise. Otherwise, clearing skies, looking good for the big game at Coastal. And then a bit cooler as we head towards Sunday, low 50s for Sunday across the Grand Strand. We'll see that similar trend here across the PD with some chilly nights returning as we work our way into the weekend as well. Once again, dropping their way back down into the 30s. Eric?
All right, and that is our time at 7 o'clock, but don't go anywhere. You're going to want to stay around for the Rockefeller Center tree lighting live right here on WMBF. And a little later tonight at 11, how law enforcement agencies are teaming up against crime in the Carolinas. We hope you have a safe and healthy evening. Stick around for the show and then join us back here for WMBF News at 11.